Welcome back. There was mayhem on the opening lap of the Honda Cadet 200 final, with at least 9 drivers involved in an incident that saw Archie Edgar here in the green suit. You'll just make him out flat on his back on the tarmac out of the kart in an incident that involved Ziad, Sutton, Onu and others. One car actually went over the bank in the middle of the circuit, over the grass bank. Incredible. I've never actually seen that ever before here at Shenington. Needless to say, a red flag came out, but everyone okay in the end, and after a short delay in proceedings, we got underway with a restart. Drama aplenty. Here's Jake with the grid positions, although some drivers not making the restart, Jake.
Very good point. It looks as though Archie Edgar and Zaya Ono will be missing from the grid, as will Francesco De Caro. Not sure what happened there, but it's going to be Charlie White and Riley Blakemore on the front row of the grid. Alone will be Ben Boers on the second, then Jayan Prakash, Archie Cannon, Ollie Ems, Henry Colburn, Ollie Knox and Daniel Zayad. From Nikita Robertson, Lorenzo Martin, Alistair Saunders and Layla Berryman. There are no drivers on row 8. Then it's Krish Doshi, Bradley Sutton, David Chioka, and then Ted Fry. The final 4 drivers on the grid will be Oscar Wills, Joshua Adote, Austin Dowell and Zara James. But as we've mentioned, there's no Archie Edgar, no Zaya Ono, and we're not sure why, but Francesco De Caro is missing from 3rd on the grid. Standing start as always in Honda Cadet. So let's get under starters orders. It should be an interesting one. Charlie White is going to have a drag race to the first corner with Riley Blakemore, who's made a terrific start. Blakemore into the first corner as they go through to Cafe for the first time. Charlie White up the inside and he spins! Charlie White spins away from 2nd position. It looks as though there was a slight issue there, and Blakemore has lost the position as well. So there might have been a slight bit of contact between Blakemore and Charlie White, and that has definitely thrown things up in the air. Charlie White has spun off and is down at the back, and that looks to me like Ben Boers has now come through to the lead. Big drama into the Bruno Ferrari chicane for the very first time, and now we've got ourselves a rip-roarer of a race start. It could be very tricky from here on in, but it's a good battle. How on earth is Charlie White going to make up the ground from this? But Boers is your leader. Blakemore in second up the inside. Prakash has a go on the inside line. He can't quite get up in front. And there's already a tussle for 4th position further back as well. So it's Ben Boers that leads the way. Then it is Blakemore in front of Prakash, Cannon, Knox, Ems, Henry Colburn and Daniel Zayad. And there's more drama through Cafe Corner as drivers are still skidding their way through the right-hander. Not everybody finding ultimate grip in this first lap. Still very cold out there here at Shenington, but everyone seemingly up for the duel in this Honda Cadet final. Ben Boers leads the way though, Blakemore second, and Giant Prakash looking very hungry in 3rd position. P4, that's Cannon, doing a good job in front of Ollie Knox. So as the field works their way through, it is Ben Boers, the youngster from Oxford, who has worked his way through to the lead of the race. But Blakemore fancies his chances to get back in the lead into Wilkins. It wasn't quite up alongside to get the move, but manages to get level through the apex of the hairpin. Hasn't quite been able to make his way through. And then it's the young Preston Charger, Jayan Prakash, who runs in P3. Through the left into Cafe, and looking very strong indeed as the drivers are really hustling. And this battle for the top 3 between Boers, Blakemore and Prakash is not getting away from the field. They're actually bringing Archie Cannon and Ollie Knox back into the draw, and that's a big dive up the inside. I think that was Daniel Zayad getting his move on the inside there. I think so, on Ollie Ems. So good racing all the way through this field. But you can see now the pressure cooker is dialing up as Archie Cannon goes very late on the brakes through the Bruno Ferrari chicane and brings Ollie Knox along for the ride. Now there were 5. Boers, Blakemore, Prakash, Cannon and Knox. Here's the move on the inside. Blakemore's going to be assisted here from Prakash. Surely he'll get through. Boers has to cover the line to defend from Prakash, but Blakemore takes the lead and the Lancashire youngster has got through. But now there's retaliation immediately from Ben Boers. In through the left-hander to get back the lead of the race. He takes it instantly. Great racing in Honda Cadet to kick off the UK Kart Series 2025. And my goodness me, are we in for a rip-roarer. Everybody's still sliding through those first couple of apexes. On the inside, Blakemore tries again. Can't quite get close enough in the braking zone to challenge Ben Boers. But Prakash on the exit should be able to sort that out, and he does. Into 2nd position, I think. No, sorry, Prakash had a move for 2nd on Blakemore, and Blakemore shut him down. Through the Bruno Ferrari chicane. Cannon and Knox just biding their time, looking for their own piece of the action. Up to Wilkins, Prakash tries to get on the inside line. There's not much of a gap there left by Blakemore, and a very feisty Archie Cannon. Oh, the door left wide open, and up in the air, and through goes Ollie Knox. Goodness me, he takes the position airborne. Ollie Knox definitely getting his 2025 season to a flying start. As in 6th place now, we've got Zayad in front of Ems, Colbert, Nikita Roberts and Lorenzo Martin. The top 10 furious and feisty in the first race of 2025, as in through the hairpin they go once again. Bowers really trying to shake off Blakemore and Prakash, while Ollie Knox has worked his way into P4, and they've started to put a bit of daylight now between themselves and Archie Cannon, who shuts it down in the braking zone. I wonder if he even braked. He may have just coasted the Kart back in, because now he's level. He's side by side with Ollie Knox, trying to get through on the inside. That is so brave on this turn. Is he going to finish it as Prakash goes for the move on Blakemore? Drifts him wide. Prakash gets in a second, and that's Knox. Losing out to Archie Cannon in the same breath. And as they battle away, it's going to be very hard charging stuff. Nikita Roberts, the young lady from Poole in Dorset, is now in the mix, as is pretty much everybody who's in the top 10. We've got Burrs, Prakash, Blakemore, Cannon, Knox, Zayad, Ems, Colbert, Roberts and Martin. And it looks like Alistair is going to get in the mix there as well. Alistair Saunders working his magic to get into the toe of the battle. My goodness me, Honda Cadet has definitely woken up and paid attention over the winter. As up the inside, it looks like this is that Prakash getting into 2nd place as Blakemore lets him go. So Riley Blakemore actually lets Prakash go there. He thinks, right, well, we can get him back on another opportunity. I'm not having a collision into the Bruno Ferrari chicane, thank you very much. I'm going to bide my time and take another opportunity. Smart thinking from Blakemore, and that's why he had him nailed through Wilkins. Beautifully done there from Riley Blakemore. Took 2 steps back to go 3 steps forward, and it works. So now they slide through the left-hander. Back on the positions again. So Blakemore into 2nd position. Prakash is there in 3rd. But still a big battle brewing for the lead of this race. You can tell everybody wants a piece of it. Zayad and Ems now making the bid on the inside of Knox. So they've gone through. That's Zayad into 5th, Ems into 6th, then at the expense of Knox. So down into 7th place he goes. And that's Prakash getting side by side with Blakemore into 2nd position through the Bruno Ferrari chicane. Did he make it? Yes, he did. So a good move there from Giant Prakash into 2nd position. Now he's going to take on Ben Bors just 2 corners later. Can he make it work? Gets his guard on the inside line, nails it. Brilliant from Giant Prakash. He now takes the lead. So Prakash goes from 3rd to 1st in the lap, and now there's problems for Blakemore. He's going to have pressure from Zayad and Ems. Zayad gets through on the inside, Ems has to wait, and that's Charlie White getting in the wars in the middle of the field as well. Good battle going on further back. That's Bradley Sutton having a nice little tussle there with Layla Berryman, I do believe. But the battle up front still raging. And now we've got a new leader, his name Giant Prakash, who has worked his way through in front of Bors and Cannon. Slight issue with our timing screen, unfortunately, but I can tell you it is Prakash in front of Burrs. Archie Cannon is now flirting with the podium himself. He's into 3rd position in front of Riley Blakemore. I think that's now Daniel Zayad behind Ollie Knox again, who is battling away forward with Ollie Ems. So Ollie Ems fancies his chances. He's now into 5th position. And as they go across the line at the end of lap 10, it is Prakash from Bors, Cannon, Blakemore, Ems on side by side on the inside. Is that enough? Bors has got there. Ben Bors back into the lead of the race again on Giant Prakash. Little further round, and you can see Giant Prakash having another bid on the inside of Ben Bors, and this time they're going to go 3 wide. As through past all of them goes Archie Cannon, and that's an off the road and spin from Ben Bors. Look at it. Prakash gets his move on the inside of Bors. That's the move that Cannon thinks he can get there, and there's no room for Ben Bors to play. He tries to rejoin, but there's no grip on the grass. He rejoins the tarmac, but there's water on the tyres. Penultimate lap, and Cannon still leading. Oh! Big, heavy braking down into the hairpin, and it's an absolute shuffle of the deck. And that looks like Zayad is going to try and come through to the lead. No, he reckons without the far side. Knox battles away. There's all sorts of contact. But it looks to me as though out in front now, it is the 11 of Ollie Ems who comes through to take the lead in front of Giant Prakash. Prakash fancies his chances back on the inside of the hairpin, and they're going to go wheel to wheel. They do indeed. Prakash gets the lead off Ems, and there's a battle for 4th position. Blakemore is living. He's absolutely furious at the wheel. And as they go across the line, it's Prakash who leads. Ems is 2nd, Zayad is 3rd from Cannon and Blakemore. Last lap, and it's anybody's in this unbelievably close race. So everybody's still having a tough race of it up front, but it really is going to be a nail-biter to the line. As currently, Giant Prakash leads Ollie Ems and Daniel Zayad, but everyone's got a chance. The way they've been racing today, you could throw a blanket over all of them. Who's going to have the bravest left foot on the brake pedal at Wilkins at the end of this long straight? We're going to find out shortly. So Ems is still pushing it all the way behind Giant Prakash, but I think Prakash may have done enough here. Ollie Ems will try one last trick to get alongside, but he's not close enough. It's going to be a hard charge from Giant Prakash. He will take the victory in fantastic style from Ollie Ems and Daniel Zayad, with Cannon, Blakemore, Robertson, White. An absolute stormer from Charlie White to come back to P7. Absolutely astonishing race. Well, in post-scrutineering, sadly, there is an exclusion for Ollie Ems as he failed the post-race checks. So Prakash takes the victory from Daniel Zayad and Archie Cannon ahead of Riley Blakemore and Nikita Roberts. What a charge back to P5 in front of Charlie White, who recovered from his first lap spin to get all the way back to P6.